Now from WPTV, this is News Channel 5 at 5:30.
New at 5:30 tonight, it is deja vu and not in a good way.
First, Alfred Angelo sent shockwaves through local brides-to-be. Now another dress shop has apparently shut down suddenly.
News Channel 5's Miranda Christian has the story tonight in Boca Raton.
For the last few weeks, Brittany Burns' bridal hasn't been open. Brides are wondering where she is, even writing on the window, "Where are you?"
It's a nightmare.
Nightmare no future bride wants to deal with. Brittany Burns' bridal is leaving brides high and dry.
We called many times, we sent an emails, but no response.
We went over to the bridal store and there was no one there.
The doors at the bridal shop closed with no warning, leaving future mother-in-law Gamzee wondering if her son's wife will have her dress.
It's very scary.
Reviews online reflect similar situations. People have had appointments with the shop, show up, and no one is there.
When I was booking the appointment, it had 5 stars, so I was like, oh, this is great.
Katie O'Donnell flew in from Pennsylvania to go dress shopping with her mom.
I left them a message on their phone, I think twice that day, but I didn't get any response. You want it to be a really fun process in general, and it's a little bit upsetting when, it's less than that.
We attempted to contact Brittany through phone, email, Facebook, even knocked on her door, and nothing. The same response everyone else is getting, but no contact with Brittany at all.
No, nothing.
Some brides I spoke with today were able to find their dresses at a local seamstress, but others just had no answers. The landlord said they had no comment. In Boca Raton, I'm Miranda Christian, WPTV News Channel 5.
Another warm one for South Florida. Temperatures breaking some records in a few spots. We are cooling off slowly. Still some 80s, though, out there. And hazy sunshine. Sunset coming up around 6 o'clock, just after 6. And the rains, and some big rain, working south in toward Tampa, at least trying to, but not expecting much rainfall here. There's a look at our current temperatures. It feels like summer across South Florida. We've cooled off a couple of degrees, but not much. And if you're heading outside, it's going to be another warm one. That front to the north, we're going to talk more about that. And we're also going to talk about whether we get a break from the heat and humidity coming up.
Now to a missing child alert from FDLE. You're asked to be on the lookout for this young woman, 14-year-old Faith Smith. Police say she may be with 26-year-old William Robinson. They were last seen in Escambia County in a white Nissan Altima. We've posted her picture on our Facebook page so you can share it as well and help spread the word. Shannon.
Jay, thank you. People who voted for and say they need medical marijuana are not the only people upset tonight with how the state has implemented the new law. So are state lawmakers who decided to send the Department of Health a message they are sure to receive. News Channel 5's Jason Hackett here to explain. Jason?
Well, Shannon, if you want to get someone's attention, threaten to take their money. That's what's happening right now in Tallahassee.
Deep breath.
Dr. Ahmed El-Haddad with Mary J. MD Medical Marijuana says the rollout here in Florida has worked in some respects.
The state of Florida is doing a good job regulating the dispensaries and regulating the access to make sure that it's not going into the wrong hands.
But it's a system, he says, that still has a lot of room for improvement.
It's taking too long for them to get approved and be allowed to go to a dispensary to pick up medical marijuana. For them to wait 3 to 4 weeks to get a card, it's when they can go get an opioid within 2 hours from their doctor, that to me is unacceptable.
Backlogs have become a major issue, not just approval for patient ID cards, but also for growing and dispensing licenses. It's gotten so bad, last October, a legislative committee started sending the Department of Health letters demanding answers. Now lawmakers are taking things one step further. In the House's 2018-2019 budget proposal, an amendment would freeze $2.1 million in salary and expenses until DOH fixes the issues. In a statement, State Representative Jason Brodeur, who introduced the amendment, told me if we now put their salary and benefits of the executives in reserve, we are hoping it gets a bit more of their attention. El-Haddad says more funding for DOH could actually be the solution.
They should be pouring more money into this to get more employees so they can do the right thing.
Now, in a statement to me just a few minutes ago, the Florida Department of Health told me their priority, quote, continues to be ensuring patients have safe access to low THC cannabis and medical marijuana. Jason Hackett, WPTV News Channel 5.
I'm Kelly Dunn at the live desk with new video of a murder suspect. He is considered armed and dangerous. A manhunt is now underway for this guy. He was last seen at a gas station on West Okeechobee Road in Hialeah Gardens. Detectives believe he murdered a 65-year-old man at a Cocoa Beach hotel last week. If by chance you recognize him and you've seen him, please call police right away. Jay.
Kelly, thank you. New at 5:30, the waitress who went public with her story of a mega church not tipping her for a $735 carryout order paid a heavy price. News Channel 5's Tanya Rogers is here with the latest. Tanya.
Well, if you've been following this story, you probably know Outback Restaurant firing Tamela Yoder for going on social media to criticize a customer. But the church, she says, stiffed her, came through for her in a big way. Tamela Yoder says Christ Fellowship in Palm Beach Gardens is back in her good graces.
The church did reach out to me. They have been wonderful, very understanding. They reconciled the whole situation.
A far cry from Friday night when Yoder told News Channel 5 the church ordered $735 of food for delivery. The restaurant was running late, so the church sent a volunteer to pick up the food.
We ended up getting stiffed on a tip, and that was our major. It made me mad.
She posted her frustration on social media. A friend then called the church to complain. The church said a volunteer picked up the order and didn't know about its policy on tips.
They reconciled the whole situation.
People across the nation have offered their thoughts on Facebook and Twitter, from whether people should tip on carry-out orders to whether she should have been fired. But church leadership contacted Yoder directly.
They gave me more than a 20% tip, and I'm so thankful for that.
Her message to all customers:
15% should be a minimum of dining in, unless the service is absolutely horrible. Any type of tip counts for to-go, takeout, carry-out, because we are still only making $5 an hour, server minimum wage.
Now, Outback fired Yoder for violating company policy. Yoder says that she's still looking for a new job and a car, and she says the church is trying to help. Tanya Rogers, WPTV News Channel 5.
Happening now, 2 brush fires in southwest Miami-Dade County are threatening some homes. Fire crews notified people living in this area to be prepared to leave if they couldn't get this thing under control. At last check, the fires, both of them, are about 65% contained. The Florida Forest Service is investigating. Officials do believe these flames were started by a human. Wiping out the flu in just one day. The tests underway that could make that a reality.
Spring training just around the corner, but the new ballpark in the Palm Beaches is still not finished.
An experimental drug could cure the flu in just 24 hours. It would mean fewer contagious people spreading their germs. Right now, doctors are testing this out on people from here in the United States and Japan as well. It could be on Japan's market by March and here in the U.S. sometime next year. Starting today, the makers of OxyContin, one of the most powerful and highly addictive opioids, will stop promoting the drugs to physicians entirely. The city of Delray Beach, in fact, already filed suit against Purdue Pharma, claiming that it downplayed the risk of the drug and caused the epidemic to worsen.
If you're planning a trip to the happiest place on earth, expect to pay a bit more. Disney announced it's raising ticket prices by $4. A regular one-day park pass will now cost $123. Annual passes will also increase. Changes are posted to the park's website. The launch of Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster on SpaceX's first Falcon Heavy rocket brings a new demand for the same car now traveling through space. Not the electric hot rod, its smaller replica, as Musk called it, the little car in the car. A Mattel Hot Wheels toy was mounted on the dashboard. It sold for a little more than $1 when it hit toy stores last year. Right now, on sites like eBay, it's headed for $100 or more.
More trouble tonight for a popular massage chain. A Florida man and a massage envy therapist under arrest tonight.
Ahead at 6, an alleged cover-up in the West Palm Beach Police Department. The latest allegations of officer misconduct.
Feels like summer out there. There's some relief just to the north. Cold front starting to move in toward Tampa. Does it make it this far south? We'll talk about that in this week's forecast coming up.
Well, the World Series champs and the Washington Nationals are ready for year 2 in their new ballpark in West Palm Beach. But the ballpark of the Palm Beaches, paid mostly in part by taxpayer money, is still not finished. News Channel 5's Alex Hagan with an update tonight.
Well, pitchers and catchers for both teams report this week, and when they get here, they are going to see some crews working on the ballpark. But I'm told everything is good to go for that first game next week. that time of the year.
That might be George Springer.
For Bryce Connolly, time to see the players arrive.
It's a little hard to tell.
Time to see some batting practice.
Excited to see what they do.
Time for maybe some autographs.
Yeah, over by the cars, you get them when the players are leaving.
Time for year 2 of this ballpark.
It's looking really nice.
This is a part of it, the pressure wash.
Today, GM Brady Ballard shows me around.
Spray and the paint.
Who's getting the ballpark ready.
Always things that come down to the wire, so everything's got to be fresh.
A little bit easier this year. Last year, there was a mad rush to get the $150 million facility open for opening day.
First time we ever cooked on the grills was because we had a line and it was opening day.
The rush had crews working hard this past offseason, but still, construction is not complete. Paint jobs, concrete repairs, among other touch-ups.
Yeah, we had to tweak a few things for sure.
Ballard says the city is likely to issue a final certificate of occupancy later this year.
This is one of the nicest ones I've seen down here.
However, fans will likely not see much unfinished work once the first pitch is thrown.
Can't wait for pitchers and catchers to open.
What they will see, though, are 2 teams with World Series aspirations.
Now's as good a time as any to become fans because, like I said, they expect to be playing in October.
And that first game will be the Astros versus the Nationals on February 23rd. In West Palm Beach, Alex Hagan, WPTV News Channel 5.
Down at the live desk, federal agents just arrested an armed serial robber. Investigators say this man, 26-year-old Damon Woodard, is responsible for nearly 24 armed robberies across South Florida since September. There was a $10,000 reward out for his arrest. Right now, he's in the Miami-Dade jail without bond. Kelly, thank you. More trouble tonight for the largest massage franchise chain in the country. In Sarasota, police arrested a Massage Envy employee twice for battery. Ruslan Grushko is now accused of inappropriately touching 2 clients against their will. Detectives do believe there could be more victims in this. Grushko has since been fired. Last year, though, more than 180 sexual assault incidents were reported at Massage Envy spas all across the country, including one right here in our area.
The man accused of dragging a Pembroke Pines police officer with his car for nearly a mile was back in court this morning. This is body cam video from when it happened back in December. Thomas Cabrera faces several charges, including attempted murder of an officer. He pled not guilty. A crime 20 years in the making. A woman who stole a newborn from a hospital just took a plea deal. Gloria Williams faces up to 22 years in prison. She took the newborn baby from a Jacksonville hospital in 1998 and then raised her as her own in South Carolina. The judge will sentence her in May.
More jail time for 2 men who captured, hogtied, and kidnapped 3 key deer. You may remember these disturbing images from last September. Eric Acosta and Tumani Young, they will serve 6 months in Monroe County Jail and then 3 years probation for this. Both were already sentenced on federal charges. One of those deer did have to be euthanized. A hunter became the hunted in a strange turn of events. It happened in South Africa. A suspected poacher was mauled to death and then eaten by the very pack of lions he was hunting. Remains and a loaded hunting rifle were found at a private park. Police have not yet identified the victim.
Well, while Olympians are focusing on gold in Pyeongchang, a Delray dentist is focused on their teeth. Dr. Richard Stoller and his team from Advanced Dentistry South Florida are especially trained in sports-related dental injuries and customizing mouth guards. He works with Team USA before the big competition. He also is a team dentist for Team USA, for FAU as well. Remember, you can catch all the Olympic action right here on WPTV News Channel 5.
I think we're going for gold in the weather department, Steve Weagle.
Oh, yeah, Shannon. I know Shannon loves it. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Make that too.
It
out
is,
there.
It is beautiful out there.
Compare us to anywhere in the nation right now. I mean, not bragging, but just saying.
Although I do hear rumbles about how warm it is, though, in spots. What a weird weather pattern, because it looks like this is going to stick around for the foreseeable future, this warm
it's
weather.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, great for beachgoers and anyone heading outside in the evening. We're cooling off a little bit, and there's another front just to the north. Every front in the last few weeks seems to just make it into Central Florida and then just stall out. And this is going to be another one. It's left some heavy rainfall across the Panhandle, and that stretches all the way up into the Carolinas. Now we're in the sunshine, but warm weather here, and we are looking at more sun as we head into Tuesday. There's a look at current temperatures. Still high 70s everywhere. These are above what we would typically see for a daytime high, and we are looking at still 82 back around Okeechobee. Some spots, especially Central Florida, set some record highs today, up in the high 80s. And this front is another one that just stalls out. It's pretty much stalled now. And we're on the warm, breezy side for Tuesday. It lifts north after that. This is a very typical pattern for La Nina with warm weather and the front and the jet stream to the north. That keeps us in a warm weather pattern and a generally dry weather pattern, and it is not going to break anytime soon. And La Nina, though, it looks like it's going to fade off as we get in towards spring. Temperatures are still in the mid-70s by 10 and 11 o'clock tonight. The clouds and showers are rolling away. Tomorrow, all day, sunshine, after some morning fog. And Wednesday, we could see a stray shower along the coastline, but it looks like another warm and sunny day for South Florida. Our temperatures at or above 80 through the week. And right into the weekend, we do cool off a little, but not much. Boating conditions, not bad. Certainly better than they were on the weekend. Seas 2 to 4, and winds are coming down too. East winds at 5 to 10. That means there's still a little bit of a rip current risk, but not pretty wild weather, especially Saturday with those winds. And it is starting to subside a little bit. It's short term, though. 71 overnight with overnight fog. The best chance for that will be around the lake. Some of it will move in toward the coastline, or try to. 83 for the high tomorrow. Lots of sun. After that, morning fog lifts. Could be an issue for anyone living west of 441 with the visibilities and the 7-day forecast. Low rain chances, lots of sunshine. Temperatures at 80 or above for the next week, and the long-range models have warm weather for the next 2 weeks at least.
Steve, thank you. Love it's in the air. Even at the customs checkpoint in Miami, these Border Patrol officers are examining millions of cut flowers imported from South America. They're looking for dangerous pest or plant diseases. Last year at the Miami International Airport, Customs inspected nearly 1 billion flowers.
A Treasure Coast teen literally gave his heart to a stranger. Today marks 4 years since the Tree of Life was dedicated at the St. Lucie County Tax Collector's Office. It was established, of course, in memory of Christian Medina. You may remember the young man, a Lincoln Park Academy student. He was killed in that horrible accident on his way to school. Medina was an organ donor.
He gave 2 kidneys and his heart to help 3 people live a little bit longer and better lives, and we use it every day to promote the importance of donation.
More than 52% of licensed drivers in St. Lucie County are organ donors. That's one of the highest levels in the state.
Frank Sinatra once said Vic Damone had the best pipes in the business, and sadly that voice has been silenced. The crooner passed away at the age of 89 yesterday in Miami Beach at a hospital there. His family says he died from complications of a respiratory illness. He had been living in Palm Beach.
Loss for all of us, for sure. So here's another story tonight. Returns are being denied. Still to come here on News Channel 5 at 5:30. More and more stores are saying no to seasonal returns. So what do if you still have some unwanted holiday gifts?
And ahead at 6, a mother's plea for her son. She says the man at the center of a triple homicide case deserves leniency.